there's distractions everywhere. The distractions there, they're probably a lot worse than the distractions here, but obviously everyone's got choices. But I think for me, it was sort of just to get away from like friends and family. And when I turned pro, I had my first fight here and I'd done my first camp in England. My dad took me there. He said to me first, he sort of hinted it to me, he goes, listen, I think you should move to Spain just to get away from everything here and just like have your peace and focus. At the end of the day, like I learned a lot of it is, I always say like you only learn about yourself when you spend time alone. And bro, I learned so much like about myself. You learn how to become responsible. You learn like live a disciplined life. Any mistake you make now, there's no mom and dad to help you. You've got to deal with it yourself.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Podghost Podcast. With me today,
Coach Suli.
TGB Boxing. Today, guys, I'd like to bring onto the show the WBC Youth World Champion, Umar Khan.
Come on.
Umar, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, bro, honestly. It's been a long time.
But we've been planning this for a donkey's years, it feels like.
This has been
the last 2 years we've been planning it, innit?
It would have been easier to get the Queen in or the King. Sorry.
Umar, you know what? I want to speak about something before we go into your amazing journey so far. I want to go into your whole setup, because unlike, I'll start off here. I normally, ask the person where they're from, and we'll go into all of that. But you're actually not based in the UK, are you, at the moment?
No, I'm not, bro. I'm actually based in Spain. Yeah, I've been there for like the last 5 years now.
5 years in Spain?
Yeah.
It's living life.
Well, bro, I've been there pretty much my whole life. Like, we've always had a home there, so I was always back and forth. I used to spend like all my summers there. But it was I moved there permanently about 5 years ago now.
What was the reason for your move?
Bro, to be honest with you, a lot of it was just to get away from the environment here in East London, man. Just like a better way of life.
I guess that's more to do with obviously the sport that you're in. Yeah. Obviously with boxing, it takes you need a lot of discipline, no distractions to focus on camp. So is that one of the main reasons why you settled in Spain, to be out of all of that kind of, all the attention, if you like?
Exactly. Yeah, like don't get me wrong, bro. Like there's distractions everywhere. The distractions there, we're not going to talk about them, but they're probably a lot worse than the distractions here. But obviously everyone's got choices. But yeah. I think for me, it was sort of just to get away from like friends and family, and not just that. My dad went, so I'll explain the story to you. So obviously we always used to go there, like because obviously we've always had a home there. So I used to spend most of my summers there as a kid. So I've spent like half my life there anyway. So then what it is, when I turned pro, I had my first fight here and I'd done my first camp in England. And then after that, I remember my dad took me there. He said to me first, he sort of hinted it to me. He goes, listen, I think you should move to Spain just to get away from everything here and just like have your peace and focus. So I was 18 now. And obviously at the time, bro, I was thinking, nah, man, I'm going to be away from all my friends. I'm going to be away from my family and that. I was like, nah, forget all that. And then literally he took me there just as a holiday. The plan wasn't to move there or anything. And then, bro, like the first week he started introducing me to people. He started getting me to train with like different coaches out there. So I kind of got the gist of what was going on. And then one day he said to me, listen, he goes, I know you don't want to do this. He goes, but I'm making this decision for you. He goes, you're going to thank me for it later. So bro, I'll never forget now. He said, listen, I'm flying back tonight, but I want you to stay here. Yeah. So we had a car and everything there. I had like a whole setup there.
Yeah,
anyway,
of course.
So bro, I'll never forget now. He gave me an envelope. It had about 500 euros in it. Yeah. And then he said, listen, drive me to the airport. He goes, because I'm going back now. He goes, I want you to stay here, see how it is like being by yourself. Obviously, he'd introduced me to people, so I wasn't completely alone. And then, bro, I've dropped into the airport now. Yeah. And then I remember coming back to the house. And bro, I live like up in the mountains. So like I'm away from like everything.
That's mad, isn't it?
And then I remember just sitting there now thinking like, oh my God, like I'm by myself. Like there's no mom, there's no dad. Like my friends, I had friends there anyway, but obviously it's different, like the friends you've grown up with.
Of course.
And then I remember just thinking now, you know what, like at the beginning I was like, oh shit, like
can't do it.
I'm here alone. Like what if something goes wrong? What if I make a mistake? What if I get into trouble? And then at the same time I was thinking, you know what, I'm here by myself now in this house. I've got this house to myself. I've got a car, I can go where I want.
I'm going to ask you what was
I can go where I want. There's no restrictions. I can come home when I want, leave home when I want. Yeah. But then, bro, for me, like, obviously now when I look back on it, it was probably one of the best decisions like my dad ever made for me, because obviously like put me in that position, like I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not going to talk exactly about the mistakes, but imagine an 18-year-old kid.
Tell us after.
Yeah. Imagine an 18-year-old kid. And obviously I was in Marbella as well. Of course, I don't know if you've been Marbella, but you know what it's like. And obviously I just had all this freedom, bro. But at the same time, like I had choices. Like I remember just thinking, all right, cool, I can go and do this and do that. Or I can like just focus on my career, focus on what I've got to do. And
So in a way, it's like being chucked in the deep end, right?
Yeah,
because you're 18 years old and obviously you're young, you know, at that age, we know what, like, if not all 18-year-olds, what are they thinking, what they want to do with their youth, with their life, the way they think, mentality-wise as well. But you're there, your sole purpose is there. Is, look, I've signed a professional boxing contract.
Exactly.
I need to focus on my
100%.
boxing. And I need to make sure that, you know, my dad, my mum, my family's trusted me enough to be out here to focus and stay dedicated in what you're doing. And I think the proof's in the pudding now, if we think about it.
Like,
what is it?
At the end of the day, like I learned a lot of it is, I always say like you only learn about yourself when you spend time alone. And bro, I learned so much like about myself. You learn how to become responsible. You learn like how to live a disciplined life. You know, any mistake you make now, there's no mom and dad to help you. You got to deal with it yourself. So bro, listen, I always say like, I grew up in London, but I feel like that move that I made to Spain kind of made me into a real man.
And you learned the language as well, yeah?
Yeah, I learned the language.
What, are you fluent in Spanish?
Yeah, pretty much, bro. Yeah, pretty much. Well, enough to get by anyway. To be honest with you, in Marbella where I am, everyone speaks English anyway, but enough to get by.
That's mad, he speaks Spanish, man. I can speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I start naming the football team. Bro, you know what? I love that. I think it's such a refreshing story because a lot of people, especially at your age, bro, before your career's even like started, you've actually kind of moved out just to better yourself. And I think that's credit to your dad as well, bro, because
100%.
I think that experience your father must have had to, you know, get you away from here. It's not that there's anything wrong in East London, but I just feel like friends and getting involved in the wrong crowds is very, very easy, bro.
No, not just that, bro. And I think as well, when you stay in one place like your whole life, you kind of just become limited. When you go out like into different parts of the world, you meet different people. Like you learn a lot more. You learn about yourself. You learn how other people are, and you pick up a lot. Like a lot of it is life lessons, bro. Like I made a lot of mistakes. I done a lot of things wrong, but bro, I'd rather have made those mistakes then than make them later on in life. Because
of course, and tell us about the food, bro.
Bro, that's one problem.
Don't say Spain.
All I'm saying, listen. When I'm on Insta and he's in Spain, right, and you're looking through his stories, right, every restaurant is like a 5-star restaurant, and his plate is clean, and he's got bit of this, bit of that. You know that them proper Michelin star type healthy munches.
The food can't be better in Spain.
Bro,
no,
it's lovely, isn't it? The first couple years, like I tried to learn how to cook myself and that, because obviously I thought I can't go out and eat every day. Obviously I'm gonna have no money.
But that didn't work out well, did it?
Bro, like it was hard, man. Like, I can't lie, it made me appreciate like having a mum so much, bro. Like, like obviously you got to do your washing yourself, you got to clean your house yourself, you got to cook for yourself. So it just made me appreciate a lot of things that you don't appreciate maybe when you're a kid.
When you come back home as in East London, do you then like use it as an opportunity to act like not that responsible, or are you still in that mode of I still gotta get up and you just when you're home you're just relaxed, mum's doing everything for you, or are you still in that because you've been in Spain for so long?
Yeah, true.
Are you still in that mature vibe when you're at home? Like, do you get up and put your stuff in the sink and start?
I can't lie, bro. Here when I'm back here, my mum after a week she says, "Listen, I'm waiting." Get out, because bro, I literally rinse it, man. Like I don't do anything in the house, but
it's your holiday.
Yeah, I always say to her, listen, when I'm there, I do everything myself. So I'm here now. It's like, bro, me coming here now, it's like a vacation. Almost,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
So when you come in now, do you miss going back, or do you know just see it like I'm gonna be back here soon? Let me just enjoy it.
Not really, bro, man. Like obviously, I've got a lot of family and friends here, so it's good spending time with them, but at the same time, like after a while, like my life, everything is there now. So after a while, obviously, I do want to get back.
Well, that's a story of a Pakistani in Spain, bruv. So, well, now I want to go back into obviously how you got into boxing.
Yeah.
Tell us about your childhood, bro. Growing up, how was it? Where was it? And what made you go into boxing?
So, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like, alhamdulillah, my parents worked really hard. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I had it hard growing up, bro. I didn't have it hard growing up. Like, I come from a good household. I come from a respectful family.
MashaAllah.
And I had a good upbringing. Obviously, I made a lot of mistakes when I was young, but I can't sit here and say, it was because I was in a bad environment, because I was never in a good environment, bro. I come from a good home, alhamdulillah. So my upbringing was kind of, so I studied up until I was about 14. I think I broke the record of getting kicked out of school. So I went to like 8 different schools. And then when...
he walked in to go to the next school, they walked back out.
Mad, but I wouldn't say I was a bad kid. I was sort of just like... Bro, I had a lot of... No, not misunderstood. I wasn't misunderstood either, bro. I just had a lot of energy, man. I was just hyper. Hyper.
It's funny because all boxers say that, you know that?
Yeah, so like I was just like a hyper kid, bro, growing up. Like I was just mad. Like I was that kid like in the class, like
just can't keep quiet.
It would be a silent lesson and I would just shout something random. Like I was crazy growing up. But like alhamdulillah, like then again another decision my parents made for me. They took me out of school.
At 14?
At 14, yeah. I wouldn't say it was a good decision, but when I look back on it, it was. So I come out of school when I was 14. I got homeschooled by my mum at home, and I used to go to work with my dad as well. So I was 14, I was getting homeschooled by my mum, and then obviously I was spending most of my evenings and most of my days with my father.
Yeah.
And obviously with older people. And I feel like that kind of just helped me like mature. And obviously at the same time, I was boxing as well. So literally I was spending time at home, studying with my mum.
It just gives you that...
And the rest of my day was in the boxing gym or at work with my dad.
Oh. It just gives you that insight as well, innit? You being with your dad, appreciating what
100%.
Fathers do. You know, they're to provide for the family.
No, of course.
They're going out, they're working, they're making deals, they're trying to get, things done and put food on the table. And it gives you a bit of an eye opener and you're thinking,
and not just that, bro, like it kept me away from... like obviously when you're at that sort of age, like going from like 14 to 18, I feel like a lot of kids, a lot of kids make that decision, like what they're going to do. They're going to study, they're going to go on the roads, so it kept me, I wouldn't say it kept me out of it completely, but obviously where I spent a lot of time like with my family and with my dad, it kind of just kept me away from like other young kids my age. So I didn't really have the opportunity to go down a wrong road. He always kept me like sort of on the straight and narrow. And where I had boxing as well, it was sort of a way just to express myself and put my energy into something positive. Just
take one step back, because Yazz might not know, and some of the people, your fans who are watching, won't know. But you had a bit of you're pretty decent at football as well, right? So tell us that little stint.
Nah, bro. So up until 13, I played football my whole life. I was actually quite good. I played for West Ham. I played for Tottenham. So I was a decent player. Yeah.
Where did you play?
I was a right back.
Not like Trent, were ya?
Huh?
You weren't disloyal like Trent, were ya?
Oh yeah, he's got
We'll have that discussion because I'll start swearing at the mug. But you know what, bro? Football, for you to swap over, I think a lot of people would think that's such a drastic change, bro, from football to boxing. What was the time when you thought, done with the football, I want to put the gloves on now?
Nah, bro, I'm not gonna say like it was racist, but I know when I was
when
I was at the academies, bro, like I was a lot better than a lot of the kids. But like sort of you just don't get opportunities, you get left on the bench, you don't get picked for games. And it's when you're that young, it kind of just disheartens you. So one day I just said to my dad, listen, I don't want to do this anymore.
Who inspired you then to get in the ring and start training?
So bro, it was actually my younger brother who actually boxed before me. He didn't like compete or anything. He just used to go to train. He used to just train at the gym, like at a boxing gym, like around the corner from my house.
Okay.
And one day he said to me, listen, come along. So I said, all right, cool. So I literally went. Bro, I'll never forget that day. I walked into the gym and like for me, it was just sort of like the vibe and the smell and just the fact that everyone was just like equal to each other. And bro, from that day, I'm not gonna lie, I literally just fell in love.
The piscina turned you on.
The what?
That's not Spanish, man. The sweat.
Yeah, nah, bro.
Piscina. Yes, you know, innit?
Yeah, no, bro, it was just sort of just like the environment of it. And then I remember the first time I sparred, like that feeling of just smacking someone in the nose and seeing like their nose turn red, bro. Like
he's violent.
I sound like a psychopath right now, but bro, it kind of just made me fall in love with it.
And you was at Repton, right?
No, I started at Fairbairn first with Jumbo Bassi, And then after that, I went to Repton like a couple of years after that.
Okay.
That's amazing, bro. You know what? To be fair, I think it's clear from your childhood you were hyper, and I always think use that energy for the right thing instead of going on the street. Because I always think when people don't go into a sport and they've got too much energy, a lot of the kids start doing these things on the street and start getting into fights, 100%. And because they can't handle it, bro. It's not that they're wrong; they just don't know any better. So I think with you, that's probably an amazing decision. So when you first, let's just skip the whole journey of you now starting boxing.
Yeah.
When did you first get signed, bro? How was that feeling when you were literally turned professional?
So, bro, I was only young. So I was, it was when I was 17 when they first noticed me. So I was just sparring in one of the gyms as an amateur.
Okay.
I was sparring with some of the pros. So obviously I used to, because I wasn't at school, I would train with the pros in the morning, like after I'd studied, and then I'd be with the like amateurs in the evening, because obviously I wasn't at school. So I was sparring with a pro at the time. And literally a man named Andy Alien, who was my manager he's been my manager for the last 3 years now. He literally just noticed me, and obviously he worked with Frank Warren with Queensbury. And he just said, listen, I think you're really talented. And obviously I had quite a good amateur record anyway. I won a few national titles, so I was doing quite well.
Alhamdulillah.
And then he just said, listen, you're 18, you're going to be 18 next year. Like, do you want to turn pro? And I remember I told my dad, and he was sort of, at the beginning, he was sort of against it. Like he alhamdulillah, my parents have always supported me in everything I've done, like, even with the boxing.
Respect, man.
So he was kind of, at the beginning, he was kind of against it. He was like, nah, listen, just do it now, enjoy yourself, and then come into the family business and whatnot. Like, most Asian families are.
Yeah, of course.
And then I said to him, no, listen, like, I really enjoy this. Like, and bro, for me,
and you're good at it.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah. Like, so for me, being like a professional athlete, that was always one of my dreams as a kid, innit? Because obviously I thought like the lifestyle, obviously you see like on TV, like the way they are, like, bro, if you ask any kid what his dream is, it'd be to be a professional sportsman, to get paid to do sport.
Yeah.
So bro, obviously when I got that opportunity, there was no way I could turn it down. So I was young at the time. I was only 17. And then my dad just said, listen, all right, cool. If you really want to do this, he goes, do it now. And he goes, obviously, if it don't work out in the next couple of years, you're still You're going to be 19 or 20. You still got time to do something else in your life and obviously continue studying and whatnot. So, bro, literally, we agreed as a family, and then I signed my contract on my 18th birthday. And obviously, at the time, everything with COVID was going on and that, so I had to wait about a year to actually have my debut. It was a little bit less than a year, because I made my debut when I was 18. And then literally from there, bro.
Because I remember when we had the gathering with all your family and your friends turned up.
Yeah.
Colin McMillan turned up, and a few of your other friends, close friends, turned up to your signing.
Yeah.
Must have been over 100 plus people, if not 200. There was like everyone was there.
People had to get down and fucking fights.
Yeah, well, his dad got me reading du'as on the day as well. So I
remember that.
I was a Maulvi for half an hour. I don't know what I was reading, but I tried my best. But it looks like the du'as worked, because look,
alhamdulillah,
alhamdulillah, 10 fights undefeated.
No, 11 now.
11? 11, sorry.
He's just testing you. He just want to see your focus.
Nah, bro, he don't count that one fight where he won in my corner, innit? That's what it is.
That's true.
Umar, you know what? I want to ask you about your team, because you're someone who has a very close-knit circle. People that are around you. And I know you've been loyal and dedicated to your team since you started your journey. Tell us what they mean to you, bro. Why do you believe in sticking to one group, and why that is so important? Because I feel like a lot of people, as they gradually get bigger, for some reason, they believe we're going to change our circles now.
Yeah.
What do you think the reason for that is?
Bro, for me, like my circle, like, where everyone is just everywhere. It's just like a big family. Like, my friends that are close with me now, like my type boys, like, bro, we've got pictures of like with each other when we was in nappies, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've been friends from when we were like 3-4 years old, like, literally. And then the rest of it is just all like family and that. So everyone, it's just like a big family, bro. And for me, I always believe, like, I always tell everyone, if I'm winning, everyone's winning. And alhamdulillah, everyone's kind of just like got the gist of that, is that like, if I do well and they support me,
it's amazing.
Everyone does well, bro. And I'm a simple guy, bro. Like, I don't try and get ahead of myself. Like, bro, I'm doing well in what I do, but at the end of the day, it's never gonna change me as a person. Do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't be where I am without the people around me. So how can I forget them and move on to other people?
Yeah. That's amazing, bro, because I was going to say that about you, because I've met you a few times now, and I met you a few years ago, and I don't think you've changed a bit. You literally haven't, even though your success, alhamdulillah, look, winning a title, a world title, you know, for people in general who start climbing the ladder, I feel like they have a little chip on their shoulder after a few years. And no matter what industry you're in, bro, it could be successful in business, it could be any sport. People just have this knack of starting to change, and the fact that you're humble, I just hope that stays like that, and I wish you nothing but the best for your remarkable start of this career, bro.
No, 100%. And even like you said, 11 fights now?
Yeah.
Just tell us about that win, because at the end of the day, it's, you know, endorsed by the World Boxing Council, the WBC. It's a youth world title as well. And just looking up in terms of who's previously won it.
Wow, yeah.
Timothy Bradley, Canelo Alvarez, Garcia's won it.
Amazing.
Chavez as well, you were saying?
Chavez,
yeah, Chavez has won it. So
well.
your name,
Devin Haney won.
Devin Haney as well. So your name is amongst the, you know, those names of actually winning that title.
So if you say it like that, bro, that's such an amazing achievement.
It's a big achievement.
100%.
And to think you haven't even started your career yet, bro. You're relatively such a young, you're still a kid, bro, in the sport of boxing. And I feel like you're an actual student of the sport where you appreciate what people have done and you want to emulate them and go into but at the same time creating your own journey, bro. Yeah. I know you always said that I want to do what I do, bro. I want my journey to be different. 100%. I want to be able to, you know, move to Spain and then fight, you know, more around the world. Maybe one day get into America, Saudi, maybe.
Saudi, Riyadh.
Exactly. Yeah, no, bro. For me, like, I've always said, like, I want my career to be a marathon, not a sprint. So, like, there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, bro, you should go and do this. You should fight for this, fight for that." But, bro, we've always just taken it slowly. At the end of the day, I understand. I'm still like,
still learning.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I'm not a fully grown man yet. But it's like, so you got to take it slowly. And at the end of the day, you have to.
Honestly, I wish I could say that. Are you a grown man?
Don't know.
Sorry, bro.
Nah, bro, like you have to respect the sport at the end of the day. Like a lot of people say to me, like, "Oh, why don't you call this guy out, call that guy out?" But at the end of the day, who am I to go and start? Who am I to like disrespect?
You know, even though I mentioned how big this title, what a win it is, he's not even told us about how we felt when he won it.
Oh, yeah. No, bro. For me, it was like I always say that night was the best. Was probably the best night of my life, honestly.
It was a pretty tough fight, wasn't it? Because obviously
it was a hard fight, and I think a lot of it there was a lot that happened behind the scenes, like leading up to it. So for me, just to kind of get it over the line, and we kind of just rolled the dice as well. I remember sitting with my dad like a week, but like no, it wasn't a week before, it was 2 weeks before. And with what was going on in the lead up, bro, we weren't even gonna fight. There was a time where we said, "Listen, let's just forget this," because all the signs going into it, like everything that was happening, I'm not going to talk exactly about it, but there was a lot of stuff that was happening outside the ring. Okay. And, bro, it was just getting worse and worse by the day. Then I remember my dad just said, "Listen, like, you're still young. You don't have to do this now. Like, we may get this opportunity again." But I just remember saying, "Nah, listen, let's just roll the dice. Let's just go for it." And then that was it, bro. Like, it was a hard fight on the night, but obviously with what I'd been through, bro, there was no way I was walking away without the belt. So
that's sick.
Yeah. So for me, like, it was probably, I can't explain the feeling, bro, but it was sort of just like relief as well.
Bro, you know, I would obviously never know the feeling of being a fighter. But
you did fight, didn't you?
No, but I mean,
AK's charity event.
You had to fight each other now.
No,
I
don't want to
your best mate.
I don't want to kill no
How many times did you practice before you actually had to fight?
What I meant was,
oh yeah, bro, you had a
did you have a fight? Charity fight to knock a few mans out, but let's not talk about me. Nah, bro, you know what? Obviously, with us, it's a completely different, charity fights and fighting, your brothers for charity. That's not really something you take seriously. But I think with you, I want to speak about the dangers of boxing, because I feel like people look at the glitz and the glamour. It's normal. Like you said, you mentioned it earlier, that you want to be a boxer, the lifestyle, the car, the girls, whatever it is. It could be anything, right?
Yeah.
But there's also a huge element of risk involved. And a lot of people, I don't think there's much awareness around that, unless you look at, the Chris Eubank now, he started to talk about what happened with him and Watson. And I feel like still to this day, there isn't much awareness on the fact that boxers, and I don't think they're protected as much as they should be. Whether, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying it from where I sit. I feel like, I'm not saying bring the head guards back in, but I just feel like nowadays, everyone's looking at the success more than the risky element of boxing. Where do you sit with that?
Bro, for me, like, obviously, when I got into it, I accept that it is a dangerous sport. Like, it is dangerous. Obviously, getting punched in the head, it's not good for anyone. But I feel like, especially with the board now, the way they are, like, we always have to get brain scans. Like, even medically, there's a lot of things that you have to do. So there's a lot of things that people don't see behind the scenes, which, there's a lot of safety stuff that people don't see. But there is actually a lot that bro, it is a dangerous sport, bro. Getting punched in the head is always going to be dangerous. But I don't think it's as dangerous. And it's as dangerous as you make it, bro. It's like me, I fight now. But then after I fight, bro, I'm not going to get hit in the head for like 2-3 months. Like, I'm not. You get some fighters, bro, they're constantly in the gym for like weeks on end, just sparring, getting hit in the head, like, constantly. So I think a lot of it is down to yourself, bro. You got to protect yourself at the end of the day. It's like me, I won't spar anyone that's not the same weight as me.
Yeah, clever.
Do you know what I mean?
Safety, innit, bro?
Exactly. So a lot of it is down to yourself, but I think there is a lot that goes in behind the scenes that the public don't actually see.
See, that's probably why I asked you that question. Clearly, I'm a public, so...
But don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here saying it's safe. It's not safe, bro.
No, it's not safe, but...
It is dangerous.
But what you're saying, there are aspects of safety within the sport that maybe you professionals would see more than...
Yeah, I think what would be good to see is professional boxers when they retire, maybe if they have to retire under medical grounds, for example, is having some kind of welfare package for them or support mechanisms for them, because it does impact their mental health. Like, they've been boxing's been their life. People have been fighting for 15, 20 years, maybe longer, and all they know is boxing. And when that stops, it's like, where do they go from there? So it does have
a lot of it is like there's a lot of fighters now, like, there's a lot of things that people don't see. So there's a very small percentage of fighters that, like, alhamdulillah, I can say that I'm in that small percentage where I've got a promoter, I've obviously got a TV, I've got a TV channel, obviously I've got a team of people that are working around me. And alhamdulillah, the main thing I always say, like, the biggest help I've got is obviously my father. But there's a lot of fighters now where, like, so, like, bro, for example, we get like 200 tickets, 300 tickets. And obviously they give you those tickets there for you and you got to sell them. But bro, me, alhamdulillah, I've got my brothers, I've got my dad, I've got family. They do all that for me. So the only thing that I actually need to worry about is literally just going to the gym every day and turning up on the night. But there's a lot of fighters that they have to do all of that themselves. And then obviously at the end of it, they don't get paid what they should get, what they're meant to get paid as well. But there's like, and then what it is as well, there are some fighters that do get paid really well and they end up just blowing their money. But like,
true. Yeah, a lot of them get bankrupt after boxing, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think not no more with Turkey doing what he's doing, but...
No, but even then, bro, you'd be surprised. Like, I've heard some stories about some fighters and some of the gallivants that they've been on, like, financially.
Care to share?
I'm not going to talk about it, but...
I think we've all heard, I do know what you mean, bro.
Some fighters, like even in Marbella, bro, I've seen some fighters like in clubs and that, bro. And
you're shocked, like, what the hell is going on?
Bro,
I think that, again, that's an eye opener for you, isn't it, bro? To see what, because you're, like I said, but you're a lot younger than a lot of these professional boxers, and for you to see what they're doing, and you can be one of them smart ones to think, I'm not going to do what he did.
Exactly.
I'm going to be, and like you said, you've got a martial art, good support circle. I met your dad, a lovely guy, and I think he knows exactly where he wants to take you. Yeah. And I think even Sully being with you, people that know the sport, and more importantly, they understand it is a business as well, isn't it, bro?
Exactly. Like, for me, bro, boxing is, it's a part of my life, but it's not my be all and end all. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be doing this for my whole life. So, like, alhamdulillah, like, I'm making decent money now, but it's all about what you gonna do with that money. Do you know what I mean? So alhamdulillah, where I've got, like, my family, like, obviously we make little investments here and there, and like, I'm like, everyone makes sure that, like, obviously my money is protected, and I don't want to leave the sport empty-handed. And a lot of fighters, sadly, they do.
Oh yeah, bloody hell, bruv. I think it is what you just said. Such a strong point you just brought up is the fact that you've got people to advise you. And I think when that person happens to be your dad and your brothers and your family, I think that's just an amazing, and I think it's all from God, bro. You know,
and their intentions are always going to be for him the right way. Like
absolutely,
you know, your dad's not going to be thinking of using that for anything else but for you, and how your career is going to progress and your future. I think that you got plans. You want to have a family of your own, kids of your own. Hopefully,
he probably already has.
Yeah.
You don't know that. I'm just putting it out there, Uncle. If you're watching, keep an eye on him.
Don't bait me out.
No, inshallah, like you said, you've got a good support mechanism as well. But moving forward now, June 7th, right? June 7th, your next out.
Inshallah.
That's on the undercard of Fabio
Woodley. And Dillian White's fighting on it as well.
Yes, I just recently saw. Yeah, so Dillian White's fighting, Fabio's headlining, who was supposed to fight Baby Miller.
Oh, brilliant.
But he's got an injury, so they've got a replacement fighter. Again, I think it's a tough fight. But how do you feel being on? It's a first stadium fight for you as well.
Bro, that was the selling point for me, because there was 2 shows in June. There was one on June the 7th, and then one was the last Saturday of June. I think it was at the O2. But bro, for me, I always wanted to fight at a stadium. So for me, it's just another thing ticked off the list.
It's amazing, bro. That's so sick.
Just to throw your,
what stadium is it for people that are watching?
Well, I think they just got relegated from Ipswich. Yeah, so you can say it's a Premier League club.
It don't matter. But Ipswich still, bro, it's a stadium fight. And the story, it's not about. Some people, I feel like when they say stadium, they're looking at Tottenham or they're looking at
Wembley shows.
Yeah, they're looking at all the big stadiums, not Old Trafford, because it's really bad at the minute. So I think with you to fight in any stadium, bro, that's an amazing achievement, bro.
It's something I've always like it's just a different atmosphere, innit? And it's something I've always wanted, like since I.
And it's your first fight under the DAZN banner as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Queensbury have joined up with DAZN now, so this is your first fight.
Yeah.
So everyone should be tuning in, right?
Inshallah.
We'll have all the information on the fight in the description below anyway. So if anyone wants to get their tickets or find out more info, the links will be there. But I want to go on to something completely away from boxing. And I always talk about this, and I believe it's a very important topic that our podcast covers, and it's mental health in men. Yeah. Even though you're really young, bro, I'm sure you've seen it, because we were talking off camera and we mentioned so many people, all in a good light, nothing negative. And we were talking about how mental health is such an important thing in men, bro. You know, like you just mentioned it about boxing, when they retire, you know, they don't know what way to go, and then they start messing around or fucking around or whatever it could be. I want to ask you about that, bro. What do you feel about mental health? And, you know, do you think that is something that you've ever encountered? Whether, you know, you could be young, bro, but you're in the public eye, bro. You're, regardless of what it is, it must affect you at points where you feel like, do I want to do this? Don't I want to do this? Like you said, there was a few issues that you had recently before a fight. Tell us about that, bro.
Bro, I think for me, like at the beginning, alhamdulillah, I'm lucky. Like I've never experienced anything serious like with myself. But at the beginning, I think a lot of it was just, obviously I was only 18, and then there's all these like eyes on you. So it was a lot of pressure on my shoulders that I put on myself as well, because obviously alhamdulillah, I've got high expectations for myself. But like for me, like as the years went on, I sort of just thought, you know what, like if I win, everyone's gonna be happy. If I lose, no one cares. Do you know what I mean? They just go on to the next guy. So let me just do what I have to do to make myself happy. Like alhamdulillah, I've got a big fan base and I've got good supporters. But like I always say, like at the end of the day, I'm going in the ring doing it for myself. Like a lot of people, they say, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. But it's a lot easy saying it from the outside. So
of course, bro, yeah.
For me, I sort of appreciate like what I've achieved, and I appreciate like how hard my job is. So I think it's kind of just like having respect for what you do, and it just like it takes a lot of the pressure off. Because like tomorrow, if I did lose, for instance, I'm not saying I will, but if I did lose, bro, like I know that I gave 100%. I know I've put 110% into the sport. I know I cut no corners. So at the end of the day, it's just part of Allah's plan. Do you know what I mean? So
alhamdulillah, bro. Well said, well put, bro.
Yeah.
I must say, your answers are really mature for your age, bro. I'm impressed. So,
that's the 5 years in Spain.
Good thing you're not.
He's in Spain too much credit, God.
Yeah.
You should give Pakistan the credit. Instead of, you know, in
bro, I've never actually been before. Never. I've never been Pakistan. Never.
Well, you said casino in front of him. You didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I can't even. Like sometimes I sit with my grandma, and she'll start talking.
So you don't speak. Sorry to cut you, but you don't speak the language. You don't.
Nah, nothing.
Serious?
He's a proper geezer, mate.
I think that's the end of the podcast now. Bro, you know what?
Nah, bro, like at the end of the day, like I understand that's like my heritage, that's my culture. But like it was never something that was sort of instilled in us like as kids. Like I always say, like now, like in my family, so what it is in my household, my mum, she's actually from Kenya. My mum's Kenyan.
Achha,
So she don't speak.
Okay.
I don't know what the name. I think it's Punjabi, isn't
Punjabi,
it? She don't speak Punjabi, and obviously my dad.
What was it? She don't speak what?
Punjabi, isn't it? Punjabi, and obviously my dad does. So, bro, like growing up, like in my house, it was everyone used to just speak English. So I don't speak it. My brothers don't speak it. None of my little cousins speak it. So the whole next generation of my family, no one actually speaks it.
People, oh Mike, get the corn and chips. But you know what? I'll be real. My wife is Kenyan as well, and she don't speak Punjabi, and Urdu she knows, but she's not confident speaking it.
Yeah.
So we speak English to the kids. So when they go and see their grandparents, they're speaking in Punjabi to my kids, and my kids are looking at me like, what did they just say?
Yeah, bro, I'm the same as well. Like, I can understand my grandma sometimes. Like, obviously, if I see like something going on and she says something, like I understand. Normally, it's when she's telling me off. Like I understand.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
I couldn't sit and have a little laugh. But I feel that is a part of the generation of people living here now. You know, it's not that it's wrong. 100%. It's not like there's so many mixed marriages now.
Yeah.
For example, if you marry a Bengali girl or a Gujarati girl, whatever.
Yeah, it's like my like the last 3 marriages in my family, they've all been like
now they're not exactly gonna speak
non-Pakistani, exactly.
Yeah, you're not gonna exactly speak your mother
tongue. Are you gonna follow down that path?
What's that?
I know you spent a lot of time in Spain.
We'll see. Whatever Allah's got written.
Of course.
He got out of that one quickly.
Yeah, he knows the cards are there.
We were sparring today as well, and he's still on it. He's clued on.
We're trying to stump him with every question. He's too smart. No, but you know what? I don't think, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong in that. But I'm sure you're a proud British Pakistani. At the end of the day, whether you're, whether you speak the language or not, you can be proud of your heritage. It doesn't necessarily mean like there's some Pakistanis who are so patriotic. Now I'm not like that, but I love my country. Yeah. You know, I go there regularly, whatever.
Kenya's a very nice, beautiful place as well.
Yeah, actually,
I think your mum was telling me about like safaris and all sorts of stuff. Like it's wicked. It's wicked.
My dad,
So have you been Kenya?
Nah, never.
Inshallah, I think you'll
Spain
enjoy
and London for you.
Never. Yeah, Spain. Yeah, literally for the last 5 years of my life, that's the only place I mean. Spain, London, been France a couple of times. That's about it.
That's amazing.
Like, bro, when you live there, you don't really need to go on holiday. It's like a holiday.
Bro, respect to that, man. Respect to that. I think there's a lot of people out there who are going to probably watch this and think, you know what, we're exactly the same. I know so many people that don't really speak the language. It don't necessarily mean anything if you really deep it.
And then it is where I live as well. Like I live right next to Morocco, so I got a lot of friends in Morocco. So I'm like back and forth, like Spain. I drive to Morocco. I didn't
necessarily like Morocco, you know. If I was to be honest with you, I went to Morocco. Lovely people, the food's amazing, but I just didn't. I don't know what it was, but I didn't really. Morocco didn't appeal to me as a country.
Depends where you went.
Oh no! You know me. I just didn't enjoy the country. I felt like it was very backdated. Maybe I was at some really rural sort of spots, but I didn't really enjoy Morocco.
It is a bit, but
no disrespect to Moroccan people. I love you all, but I'm just saying.
It is a little bit like backdated, but like with me, like I've got friends there, so like I stay with my friends. Obviously, they take you to the nice places.
Yeah, true. So if you've got like a tour guide. Yeah, I think then
It's a nice country, man. What it is there is that like everyone's Muslim, so it's like you're in Europe, but you're not in Europe at the same time. Like
true. Yeah, so you go to Africa, don't you? Morocco is a part of Africa.
It's Africa, but obviously it's so close. It's so close to Europe. Yeah, like literally from my house where I live, on like a day where it's clear, you can actually see Morocco. You can actually see.
Yeah, it takes me like where he lives.
Yeah, I want to off camera. I want to find out a lot of information after this. Bro, you know what? I want to speak about something that I find very interesting to ask boxers.
Yeah,
and I'm sure Sully he knows you inside out. But I mean, it's your diet and your training. Because I don't know how you guys have such mental strength when you say no to food, bro. and I remember talking to Adam and a few other boxers, and they all have the same thing where they stay so militant. You've always been in such great shape. Do you actually really watch what you eat, or do you have a little cheat?
Nah, bro. Like,
and be honest.
Nah, bro. I always like it is hard. Don't get me wrong, but I've never been like a big foodie anyway. But it is hard, obviously. Like when you kind of got that restriction on yourself. But with me, bro, I always say I fight 3 times a year. Out of those 3 fights, I'm in camp. My training camp is like 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks. So I'm on that diet and on that regimen, like camp life. It's like 21 weeks out of 52 weeks in the year. When you really like break it down like that, it's not actually that much.
I couldn't do it, bruv.
It's not actually that much when you really think about it.
But you know, it's really strict, isn't it, bro? Where you know, I feel like, you know, maybe it's the society we live in now, where you go out and there's such amazing food, and you know, you go to your friends' houses, your family houses, and you have to just say, I'm all right, I don't want to eat.
No, like with me, bro, I'm strict, but like alhamdulillah, I've never really struggled with weight before. So like obviously I do have a lot of restrictions, but they're not crazy.
I guess it's to do.
I think the only week which is really hard is obviously the week of the fight when you got to make.
Yeah. And plus, look, at the end of the day, the way we say it is like, we can't do this, we can't. It's difficult for us, but remember, this is if it was our profession, that we need to be in tip-top condition.
Yep.
And eat the right food, get the right nutrients in our body to be prepared to fight possibly 12 rounds straight, then it's not an option. It's just something that's part and parcel of the boxing life, I'm guessing. So,
but I just, as a onlook, I respect you guys, bro, because I know you can't do it.
What?
Diet like that.
No.
You definitely can't. He's in a donut shop literally after he's finished sparring. I'm not even joking. But you know what? I just respect that. I feel like, you know,
show me your arms.
Off camera, I'll show you everything. This is cool. But I just think, you know, I rate that, bro. I feel like this is the sort of side I don't think people really notice about boxers, because, you know, we know quite a few boxers, and so we all do. But I feel like not a lot of people give credit to the boxing, you know, the training that's required. I feel like, look, let me give you an example. We went to the Conor Ben fight, and I'm sure you probably were there watching it.
Yeah, 100%.
Amazing fight, by the way.
Sick.
But the amount of shit they put themselves through, bro, just for that one fight.
Yeah, but bro, if you got paid £10 million, you did the same thing. Yeah, I think they both got like £10.5 million.
I will eat grass for 8 weeks.
Oh, you know, Conor's been flossing like Rolls Royces and this and that. Yeah,
bro, listen, when you're getting paid that much money, remember in boxing as well, you get paid the same whether you win or lose.
I think he bought his recent, was it a Rolls he bought?
But
he goes, that was from the fine money. You know, he got fined 300.
Oh, no,
500 grand.
I think you got
$500 million. That's what 3 and...
No, 500
Nah, but I think in total he got fined.
500 million.
No.
500.
What am I talking about? No. All right, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you later on.
I'm going to clip that for a reel. Go on. But yeah, you know what, bro? I just find it like astonishing. You know, the money in boxing, bro. You know, you just put me off track with that. What do you make of that, bro? I want your honest opinion, because I remember initially it was the YouTubers that came along and they start, you know, I thought they were kind of, I wouldn't use the word ruining, but I feel like they kind of like when I see Jake Paul, you know, I'm not calling the guy out, I'm just saying he's making money, he's fighting, he's doing really well, but come on, he's not a boxer.
No, I think, bro, it was a big wake up call for boxing when the YouTubers started coming, because I think it kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, when they started coming, they for a little while they kind of took over everything.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's what
I think until Riyadh season come in.
Yeah, when like Turkey come, obviously he was made, because what the problem was before is the promoters, no one was working together. But where he kind of got everyone working together, and obviously the fights that were meant to happen were happening. Because, bro, before, what it was is obviously where 2 promoters are going against each other, one promoter's got to make less money than the other. So obviously there was always
I agree with that.
Always that. But then when he come down, he was putting the money up himself. Obviously, bro, it was just better for the sport because everyone was getting paid a lot more. The fights that were meant to happen were happening, so it kind of just brought the sport back to life. Alhamdulillah.
So would you say Turkey indirectly saved boxing, hasn't he?
Yeah, 100%. 100% he saved boxing.
Do you think, obviously with Riyadh season, it's been around, coming up to 2 years now, isn't it?
I think about
2 years in. We've seen so many crossover fights, as in like different promotional companies, Queensberry versus Matchroom. Obviously with your career, you know, inshallah, we're looking to move forward and onwards and upwards. You're not calling anyone or anything like that, but do you potentially see yourself or have seen fighters in your division?
Good question.
other promotions like Matchroom or whoever they may be, that you're thinking, do you know what? There's a possibility I could be fighting this person.
Yeah, bro. There's not really anyone in particular, but I think now where like these big fights are happening, obviously it's something that obviously we're all open to now, and obviously I've been told, like we will, like all of us, like all of the Queensbury fighters, like they told us all, listen, you will all get your opportunity to go there. You all get like a Riyadh opportunity. So I'm still waiting for it. Yeah. But bro, it all depends. Like inshallah, where they're paying everyone so much money now. Sometimes it's hard to say no.
Yeah, you're prize fighters, isn't it, bro? At the end of it, exactly. You know, I remember a lot of boxers use that terminology now probably more often than before. Because you are prize fighters, and I feel like boxing is it's a business, bro. It's really weird because I don't see football like that. I feel like boxing is a business, but football isn't. It's quite weird. But I just feel like with you guys, because like you said, you only fight 3 times a year. Yeah, it's got to be worth your while, isn't it, bro?
Yeah, no, it is a business.
So Saudi is something that you know, not. I'm sure you'd love to do it, but you don't give you any sort of negative vibes. It's all like something.
Not really, bro. It's not something I'm chasing, but obviously, if I did get opportunity now, of course, I wouldn't turn it down. It's definitely something on the cards in the future, inshallah.
Inshallah, my brother. I think the way you're going and the way your career's been, I feel like you're going up at really fast pace, and I feel like, you know, the people around you, like you said, bro, the dedication you show and the love you have for the sport is the reason for that.
100%.
And having said that, now, bro, I want to speak about. It's a topic I think, you know, not a lot of people speak about quite openly with you boys because you're hard to get hold of. But you know, have you given marriage any thought?
Marriage. Bro, for me, it's for me. Nah, bro, it's something like, nah, like, bro, listen, like, obviously, number one, you complete half your deen.
Yep.
And number two, like, it's something that I'm completely open to because it's definitely something I've given a thought because, bro, like, the end of the day, the life I live and, like, the discipline you have to have, like, obviously, if you're married and obviously I'm not married, so I don't know. You guys probably give me some advice, but
yeah, of course,
bro. I feel like it probably just makes you a lot more peaceful as a person, and obviously it gives you another sense of responsibility, having your own family, having your own kids. So it's definitely something I'm open to.
I like that, bro. I like that because a lot of people you speak to, they're like, "Nah, man, I'm too young. I don't want to, you know."
Yeah, like
I haven't given it a thought.
A lot of fighters now, they say, "Oh no, I don't want to get married. I want to wait till I retire." But bro, why do you want to wait till you retire?
Yeah. I mean, what, you're 22 now, right?
Umar's got a girlfriend and soon they're getting married. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh, okay. Sorry, he's off the list. You can't. Don't DM him. Leave him alone. Yeah. 22 now, right?
Yeah, I'm 23 next Saturday.
So, but I still want to carry on speaking about the matter of marriage and stuff. And there's a reason why I'm going to go into another question. Right, I'm only having a little banter about. What I meant was, bro, you know, the line you're in. You know, without sugarcoating it, the fame, all of that sort of stuff. Is that something that crosses your mind when you're meeting someone or you potentially want to, you know, look into getting married? And I wouldn't know how to answer the question myself. So I'd have to ask someone like who's young, in the public eye, and a lot of attention's clearly on you. Is that something where you question the girl in the back of your mind thinking, what's she really on, man? Does she really like me, or is it the life? Or
I think my dad, he always said, like, obviously with the job I'm in, it's better to get married now at the start of your career than later because, you know, it's less... Obviously, like, alhamdulillah, I'm doing well now.
Alhamdulillah, bro. Yeah.
Obviously, in the future, like
when you're I want to be doing a lot better.
But so obviously, I know now, like, anyone you meet is probably gonna be a lot more genuine than it may be in the future. I'm not saying it wouldn't.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not only that. It's like I feel like if you're married, like, bro, I don't really do any, like, I'm quite simple anyway, bro. I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do none of that. Number one, because of my religion, so. That keeps me disciplined anyway. But I feel like if I was married now, it kind of just pulls you away from that even more. So it gives you just like another. It's like another like.
I don't think much will change with you anyway. No, it's true though. It's like obviously for me being around you all these years and you in Spain and you're just like
it just you know you go out distractions even more.
You go out, you do what you got to do. But when you're here, you're just at home. Like, you're just thinking to yourself, do you know, I'm at home, I'm happy, I'm relaxed. That's where I want to be.
So what you're basically saying is almost ready for...
He's ready, man.
Tying it down.
Inshallah.
So inshallah, guys, there you have it. You got a little exclusive. You're on it. DM
Yeah,
Umar.
bro, I done the dua when you signed the contract. I'll do your nikah as well if you want.
Umar, you know, before we wrap up, bro, I want you to leave a message for all your fans because you've got such a strong following, bro. And I feel like it's these people that follow you and support your journey. That includes us as well, to be honest. You know, and more so after they meet you, you're such a humble guy, humble kid. I feel like you've got a lot of respect for your elders and respect to your parents for giving you an amazing upbringing, bro. You know, before I wrap up the podcast. Yeah. So, bro, yeah, a little message for the people that have followed you. You can look at that camera, leave a message for people, you know, just a big up message sort of thing. I'm not forcing it.
Nah, that's it. Now, honestly, like up until now, like alhamdulillah, everyone's been behind me, the whole community. So I just hope everyone, I hope it stays that way. I hope it stays that way. Just, I can't thank everyone enough. Like, especially like everyone that buys tickets, they spend their hard-earned money. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, bro. So I just appreciate all those people. Keep following the journey. It's only going to get bigger.
Oh, inshallah, bro. Inshallah. The journey's just started. So, Umar, thank you so much, my bro, for coming on. Having me, bro. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
So there you have it, guys. That was Umar. That was a really good podcast. Nice banter, everything in there. If you liked what you saw, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace, love. We're out.
Take care.